Natalie Wood. You think you know Hollywood tragedies? Well, buckle up, because this one doesn't just break your heart, it messes with your head. For over 40 years, the death of legendary actress Natalie Wood seemed like one of those haunting mysteries we'd never crack. A beautiful star, a quiet night on a yacht, and then she was gone. But when the truth finally came out, it was darker, more twisted, and way more disturbing than anyone expected. Natalie Wood wasn't just another starlet. She was the face of classic Hollywood. Born in San Francisco in 1938 to Russian immigrants, she was already acting before she even hit kindergarten. At just 4 years old, she made her film debut. By 8, she had the whole country falling in love with her in Miracle on 34th Street. That sweet, skeptical little girl who didn't believe in Santa. That was Natalie. And from that moment on, the camera couldn't look away. Unlike so many child stars who fade into tabloid trivia, Natalie grew up in Hollywood and somehow kept evolving. In the 50s, she was no longer the cute kid. She became a serious actress. When she starred opposite James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause, she earned her first Oscar nod. Audiences didn't just see a pretty face. They saw depth, heartbreak, vulnerability. She made you feel it. The 60s were her golden years. Splendor in the Grass, West Side Story, Love with the Proper Stranger, hit after hit. She took on roles that weren't just glamorous but emotionally raw. She wasn't afraid to be messy, human, real. But behind the scenes, her personal life was just as dramatic as any film she starred in. Natalie's love story with actor Robert Wagner was straight out of a tabloid fantasy. They married young. She was just 19. The press couldn't get enough. But Hollywood marriages aren't fairy tales, and theirs had cracks almost from the start. Rumors swirled. Cheating, jealousy, even whispers that Wagner's infidelity wasn't just with other women, but with men. In the early 60s, that kind of secret could wreck careers and lives. Whether it was true or not, the damage was real. They separated in 1961 and were divorced a year later. After that, Natalie had a string of high-profile romances. Warren Beatty, Michael Caine, even a shoe tycoon named Ladislav Blatnik. None of them stuck. It wasn't until she met producer Richard Gregson that she seemed to find a bit of calm. They married, had a daughter named Natasha, and for a while things looked good. But by 1972, that marriage fell apart too. Then, in a twist no one saw coming, she reunited with Robert Wagner. Yep, the same man she divorced a decade earlier. They remarried that summer on a yacht in Malibu. It felt like a Hollywood sequel. Older, wiser, maybe even ready to make it work this time. And for a while it did. They had another daughter, Courtney, and from the outside it seemed like Natalie finally had the life she deserved. But Hollywood's happy endings are often illusions. On a chilly November weekend in 1981, Natalie, Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken, her co-star in Brainstorm, went on a yacht trip near Catalina Island. Just a casual getaway. But by the next morning, Natalie was dead, her body found floating in the water. The world was stunned. The official story? An accident. She fell overboard trying to secure a dinghy. Tragic, but simple. Or so we were told. From the start, though, things didn't add up. Natalie hated dark water. She was terrified of it. There were bruises on her body, conflicting stories from Wagner and the captain. And Walken? He barely spoke about it. People whispered. Some shouted. But the case was closed. Until it wasn't. In 2011, Dennis Davern, the yacht's captain, broke his silence. He said he'd lied to protect Wagner, and that there had been a fight that night. That Wagner delayed calling for help. That maybe, just maybe, this wasn't an accident at all. Suddenly, everything reopened. The autopsy was re-examined. New witnesses came forward. Forensics brought back bruising patterns. The coroner changed the cause of death from accidental drowning to drowning and other undetermined factors. That's code for something shady happened. By 2018, Wagner was named a person of interest. Not charged, not arrested, but not off the hook either. And here's where it gets chilling. Think of this whole thing like a twisted game of poker. 4 people on a yacht, reputations on the line, careers, marriages, lives. Everyone had something to lose. What happens in those moments? People cover, people lie, people protect themselves. Game theory teaches us that in high-pressure, no-win situations, folks often don't seek the truth. They strategize. Who talks? Who stays quiet? Who takes the fall? What if the truth wasn't hidden by time, but buried on purpose? Natalie's death was never just about falling into the water. It was about what happened before that. The argument. The bruises. The silence afterward. Watkins said nothing. Wagner gave interviews, but always with an edge of control. Davern? He said he was scared. Scared of losing his job, scared of Wagner's power. So he stayed quiet for decades. In 2015, another curveball. A former FBI agent claimed he had a secret affair with Natalie from 1973 to 1977, while she was married to Wagner. Truth? Tabloid fiction? Who knows? But it just added another layer to the chaos. In the end, we may never know exactly what happened that night. But what's clear now, what took over 40 years to fully accept, is that Natalie Wood's death wasn't just a tragic accident. It was a tragedy wrapped in secrets, power, fear, and silence. And it reminds us that in Hollywood, the most dangerous thing isn't scandal. It's the silence that follows. So what do we take away from all this? Natalie Wood deserved better. Not just in life, but in death. Her legacy isn't just her films. It's also a warning that justice delayed can so easily become justice denied. If stories like this make you think twice about the glitter and glamour of fame, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more untold truths and deep dives into the mysteries hiding behind the red carpet. And hey, keep asking questions, because sometimes the truth is hiding in plain sight.